Mark, welcome back. We're here yet again for another episode. This time, we're talking about client events.
You know, it's interesting when you think about marketing and you think about all the different ways that advisors could be growing their practice and building. There's so many different ways. And I wrote this down. Marketing is a personal preference. You know, some people like being up in front of crowds and, hey, I like doing seminars because instead of trying to book one-on-one meetings, I can talk to 30 people or 40 people at one time, right? So everybody kind of has their marketing preference.
Yeah.
Today's topic of, you know, should I be doing some existing client events? That's just a yes every single time. You know, should you be doing client events on a consistent basis? Yes. Do they have to be this big, you know, deal where you're trying to do this 100-person event or something like that? No, right? But if you are more consistent at meeting with your top clients, getting in front of them and having opportunities to get to know them better, build a better relationship with them, like that's only going to bring more business to your practice. But I think this is one of those topics that get overlooked because a lot of times advisors go, I don't know where to start. What type of event should I be doing? What kind of resources? Like, how do you put that next to a line item of, if I spend this on this event, what am I going to get back in an ROI? So there's so many variables that I thought no better time than now, especially as we enter the second half of the year, to really start engaging and thinking about how, you know, what marketing practices should I be doing? This is a staple. This has to be happening on a monthly basis.
And almost every advisor that I have talked to has not had client events on their plan. And so let's talk about why client events. Why should advisors be really tapping into this aspect of their marketing?
Well, number one, I think that you already have a group of people that are saying yes, that they're doing business with you. So I think it's always a good thing to be in front of those people, just maybe even reconfirming why they are your clients, right? Because I always like to have that old saying that, you know, you only keep the clients that you call. If you're not staying in front of them, somebody else is going to invite them to a dinner seminar. Someone else is going to invite them to something cool, unique, and different, right? And create those experiences with your people.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're trying to do, right? Is acquire new clients. So I think number one, it's a great opportunity to reconfirm or get in front of your own people that already know you, like you, trust you. It allows people to remember that you're open for business and that you're trying to acquire and work with new people. It's a great referral tool at the end of the day. It's a great way to get more introductions from people that you know, like, and trust, and you can have fun with it. It doesn't have to be this big, you know, over-the-top done thing. I'll go to one of our top advisors. You and I were on the phone with him earlier, Mike Strickland. You know, Mike, as soon as football season starts, he is a University of Tennessee diehard fan. And he wants to acquire other people that are like-minded who love the University of Tennessee. So Mike holds this massive tailgate party. Like, he is Mr. Tailgate. And his wife starts cooking on, if the game's on Saturday afternoon, she starts cooking on Tuesday and Wednesday. And when I'm telling you, like, every food, snack, anything that you can possibly imagine, Mike's got it all set up. He's got the cooler of every drink of everybody that wants to come and have their favorite soda or whatever it is there. Like, he's got it ready to go. He's got the burn ends. He's got the whole thing set up, the chairs. And by the way, if the game's at 3:00, he is there at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. So he's serving breakfast to people, and he's literally serving this entire group of people until the game starts. And then at the game, he will normally have strategically seats set up in the East Club where he's inviting specific clients to those events. So then imagine he works all afternoon at the game, serving them. And I've been there with him. So you think about that, and you think about that experience that he's created. And I've been at his tailgates where you watch these people just kind of come and are there. It's not there to talk business, but it's there to create a relationship.
Right.
It's there to create an experience. And so if you were strategic enough and you put that down as your marketing plan, you could build a business off of being the tailgate guy during football season. That could carry your business all the way through the first half of the year if done right.
Well, and what's interesting too is when you look at business customer acquisition costs, it is so much more expensive to acquire a customer for the first time. Once they're there, the retention part is easy in terms of cost wise. I mean, yeah, Mike does these big events, but it doesn't even have to be that big. It can be something else, something to just show your customers that you care about them, that you care about a relationship with them. I would be willing to bet that the amount of time and effort and maybe money that he puts into that comes back multiple times over because of the relationship that he's established with those clients.
Well, and I let's go full circle with this, and then we'll break it down kind of piece by piece. But if I'm thinking about the tailgate strategy, right, that he does, the amount of people that have come to a dinner seminar who didn't know Mike, and he and I talked at the educational dinner seminar, and then maybe they weren't ready to become a client. And there's multiple families that I'm talking to. So this is a real live, I've watched it play out. So they come to a dinner event, Mike meets with them multiple times. Maybe they're not ready to become a client. Mike invites them to another event. Hey, we're doing a tailgate. Now they get to meet Mike personally, spend more time with them. They eventually become clients. They eventually become a great referral partner, all because Mike kept inviting them, bringing them out to other things. It wasn't just, what's my ROI on that dinner seminar? Oh, that person didn't become a client. So, hey, dinner seminars don't work. But what Mike has is the way to keep people actively in front of them in other social settings. So they're also not coming to watch another presentation of Mike speak. Now they're getting to meet him personally and getting to meet other people that are clients of Mike's that they're engaging with and talking to. That makes it now more of a warmer transition to, okay, now I'm ready to do business with you because I've been able to fill you, trust you, get to know you. Now I'm ready to hear what you have to say and make that a client opportunity. So it's not just a one, do I do educational events or do I do client events? It's like a yes, you do both. And you do both consistently and you treat it like a process. So here's another simple and easy example. I would bet that most advisors, if they looked at on a monthly basis, they would have a handful of people that have birthdays. So an easy one to get to know people and to make something special is to do a birthday lunch. Hey, James, it looks like you have a birthday in September. Here we're at the beginning of September for this podcast. Hey, James, September 1st, your birthday's on the 15th. Let's plan a birthday lunch. I need a guest list. So here it is, right? You're going to hand me over the top 5, 10 people that you want at birthday lunch. You can even help them with saying, who do you know at the country club? Who do you know at work that should be coming? No sales pitch, no presentation, but a nice, easy, comfortable birthday lunch. You could even probably add multiple clients at this. But if you want to keep it small, intimate, and simple, imagine if every week you had a birthday lunch throughout the month. How many more new people would you have gotten introduced to over lunch? So it's not really expensive and it's getting introduced from some of your existing clients. Like that's so simple and easy, yet people don't do it. And I don't know why they don't do it.
It's interesting. Years ago, I worked for a client and they were trying to build their reviews. And the way that they had done their reviews in the office was they gave away 2 movie tickets.
Okay, I like that.
And then they would say, leave us a review. Thanks for coming in. And they weren't getting any reviews. And so when we looked at it, we said, well, why don't we just flip it on its head? Let's just reverse it. Let's say, hey, we'll give you 2 movie tickets if you come and you leave us a review. And that one act of how we asked changed the game, and they went from 20 reviews to 1,200 reviews within a couple of years. That scenario is kind of like what you're talking about here with referrals. Like, you just got to ask. You got to put it in a scenario and an environment where they're open.
Yeah, and I think that you can have fun with it, like we were saying. Make it as something that you have interests or hobbies in. Because if your hobby is there and you want to work with people that are like-minded, they probably have those similar hobbies. But I think one of the things to note, this is a great one to write down if you're listening to this, is that you got to know your client base. So what you don't want is to say, okay, hey, I love to go boating and I love to go surfing when I'm boating. So let me try to, work it around that. you may, and your client base on average age is 65, they probably aren't, avid boaters. Maybe some are, but probably not. That's probably not a big group, right? So one of the things that I like doing is constantly surveying or trying to get surveys from your client base and find out what their hobbies are. And chances are is that you're going to run into your existing clients have similar hobbies. They do similar interests in things. Maybe they're interested in nonprofit work. And so you're going to find out a lot about it by just asking your existing clients. So whether you have a board, a lot of advisors will have a board of 5 of their best clients, and every year kind of switch it up, and you're kind of surveying them, or you survey massively. Hey, what kind of things are you interested in doing? What kind of things do you like to do? What kind of things, would you want to do? And then that'll give you a good understanding of what people are looking for, and you can be as creative as possible. And I've seen things from advisors doing cooking classes to bringing people actually into their home and hosting events. Molly in Ohio, she is really good about bringing people in. Yeah. She wants to create this experience of, hey, you are a client, you're part of the family now. So come in, not a stuffy office, come into our home. And she's constantly has, parties for every last holiday or things going on. And now Ohio State football is going on. So now she's got a lot of stuff going on with that. But, you can have a unique experience and create these opportunities. And it doesn't have to be overly complicated, but it does have to be thought out, and it does have to be process driven.
I sense a theme in all these podcast episodes that we've done and all the conversations that we have with these advisors. There comes down to at least one thing, and that is you have to be interested in knowing who your customers are. And as you get to know them, one, you can enhance your marketing, but in the case of this, you can provide them an environment that they like and that they enjoy, and that simple thing alone can really drive some success in your business. I mean, it's funny that more people aren't doing this because in a sense it is very simple. It does take the effort of actually being interested in getting to know your customers. But when you do and you create these environments and these scenarios where you can build that relationship with them, man, your business just escalates.
It's interesting. If I surveyed the top, let's take a $25 million producer. That's somebody very, very successful, I think. A $25 million producer probably has 3 or 4 revenue sources that are coming in. So that means that they probably are doing some form of live dinner, seminar, or educational event. They're having some form of drip campaign, and that's happening and going on. They probably have some sort of client event happening, right? So they have these different pillars of money coming in, or sources of where they go and how they make their money. This is such an easy part. And I take, even if you've got 20 clients, you can have a lifetime of a business to build off of if you just started investing into those 20 clients, right? So it doesn't have to always be who's the next cold lead, who's the next online lead that I need to purchase. Start building a business around your best people that you want to work with, that you want to help, that makes you happy. And if you did that, you can have a lifetime of income. But yet we tend to overlook and just say, okay, let me just go do the next dinner seminar again, right? Let's just keep feeding that. You should be doing that, but you should be doing these other things that all collectively can work together to get to your goals of what you want to accomplish.
So the scenario just popped in my head as you were talking. If your business went to pots today,
yep,
and the only thing that you had left was $1,000 and your current list of customers, is this what you would do marketing wise, or would you go market another way?
No, this would be it. This is where I would start, because out of all my clients, then I would make them into a category who's my A, B, and C's, who are my favorite people that care about me, who want to see me successful. And I would pick up the phone and I would call them and I would tell them I've been thinking about them and I'm concerned and we need to talk and meet, make sure we're up on our plan. And then it would be a great opportunity for me to find out and get a little bit nosier into their life and see who I need to be introduced to, because maybe they're friends or family or people that they know in their sphere who they like and trust. are probably people I can help. And if you had a process given that, and you had like kind of a system to run on, if you knew what to say or how to say it, then you would treat it like a business model, like McDonald's does flipping hamburgers. It would just be naturally the same thing. I'll give you an example. Here's an easy one. I've got a great advisor who throws retirement parties. She is in the retirement party business. This is her main marketing. This is what she does. But when she has a client retire, she finds out where they're traveling to first in their retirement. So if they're going to Mexico, guess what? They're having the biggest fiesta party, like kickoff. Who handles the guest list? Well, the advisor does. So she reaches out and gets this big guest list, and she normally either does an event, depending on how big it is, like an event space, or she does it at her house. And she'll have, if they're going to Italy, she'll have the wine and the cheese and the whole thing. She'll take pictures. So she'll have photographers and she'll have photo booths and she'll have this whole entire experience. And then she gets different friends of the person retiring, and she captures testimonials or fun facts or experiences that they've had with the person retiring. And she builds a video, and she has this video play. And who's the MC? Well, the advisor is the MC. There's literally no sales pitch in this entire thing, but there's this massive fun experience. And guess what? You're acquiring that entire guest list. So does that go into some other form of drip marketing? 100% it does. Does that create an opportunity where somebody's sitting there going like, well, I'm retiring soon. Is my advisor throwing a party quite like this, right? Why am I not having this type of relationship? So you can build something and do something unique, but the big thing is that it's got to have a process and you got to be consistent with it.
So impactful. And yet I think one of the other underlying stories there is, I helped you retire. We're going to celebrate now. And everybody else sees that. And that's pretty cool, actually. That's a pretty neat approach.
Here's another great one. So I had an advisor who had an aging book of business. Okay, so this is an advisor who's been around, and he was up in Northern California, and he had an aging book of business, and he was struggling to connect the generations. He was struggling to work with the kids, the grandkids, kind of that legacy, and that's what he really needed, that youthful, that next wave of clientele coming in. So he started doing every fall, he paid for a photographer. They had a great area, and he got into the photography business because he had a passion for that. But he would set up these family legacy photo shoots. So again, you can't help but get to know the kids and the grandkids and all of that, right? You're holding the guest list. You're picking the date. You're helping them with the colors of what they're going to wear and where they're going to take the photo shoot at. And you're getting to know your top 8 clients now for years and years. Guess what? They kept coming back. So years and years, you're seeing all of your clients and their family members for years. Something simple, kind of unique. And now think about that picture over the mantle of mom and dad and their legacy, their family that's up there. Oh, who took that picture? Actually, my advisor does that. That's kind of a gift he does every year. Think about that. And the amount of connections that you can make just off of something as simple as being in the photography business and taking pictures and building a legacy. And his business just absolutely took off.
Yeah, that's another really great idea. Interesting how just caring about your customer can make such a difference. Mark, there's a lot of advisors that, they're going to listen to this episode and they're going to think, this all sounds great. I just don't know exactly where to start. We can help them.
Well, absolutely. And as you know, you're part of the process. When you meet with us and we sit down and talk about your goals, we talk about kind of your lifestyle, what you want to accomplish. When we laid out that calendar, one of those items in the calendar will be client social events. So every month we'll help kind of put that budget to it so that you can see what it's going to cost you and what kind of events or what things that you want to do. We just put it right into the business plan, and then we can measure it, making sure that, it fits with what the different things that you're doing from a marketing standpoint. But yeah, it's got to start with, okay, what do I want to do? What interests and hobbies do I have within my own clientele? How can I make something unique and different? And make sure that it works. some ideas that we may have, things like you may want to be in the wine tasting business or something like that. And maybe you're in a dry county or something. So that's not going to work, right? So kind of find something. Maybe it's an ice cream social in that dry area, and the ice cream social takes off, So we can help you with these ideas. There's not an idea that I don't think I haven't seen that we can help you get involved into your area and make you passionate about meeting people in those places that you feel that you want to meet people in. And then we put it to a process. We help you, and we got the staff to help book event rooms and things like that and really kind of build that out. So yeah, I would say call in, work with us, a producer's prospect. Let us help you get organized and let us help you implement these different events. Because again, if you're not doing them, just assume your clients are getting invited to other things.
They're getting hit up by every advisor out there. Go make an impact, build a relationship through client events.
Yeah, and you don't have to be, you do what you do best as an advisor. And my game is I want to help you get in front of more people so that you just are constantly helping and working and building your business. Let us do all the hard thinking when it comes to marketing. Delegate that to us. And under our prospect, produce, prosper, our 3 Ps that we live by at Producers Prospect, let us help you with that. And let us help you kind of build. And let's go have some fun with it. At the end of the day, let's go have some fun.
Let's go. Mark, thank you.
Thank you.